The curriculum that we're creating creates equity for teachers and for students. It allows the students to all experience and be exposed to high levels of rigorous work and texts and resources. It creates equity for the teachers because every teacher has the resources that they need. Teachers don't have to spend all of their time going out looking for these resources, looking for the perfect text. So everyone is given those resources.
We no longer have to spend our weekends lesson planning, and we no longer have to spend the evenings lesson planning, and we can really spend our PLC time getting to dive into the data and look at all of that and decide what we need to do next instead of focusing all of our time on planning the lessons.
In terms of the teachers, the curriculum work is providing equity for all the teachers in a sense that those rich problems, those activities, all those items that we all look for and spend hours and hours and hours on our own time, it's all right there for us.
Teachers need to be prepared, students need a prepared teacher. So the curriculum in place ensures that teachers go in knowing what they're going to be doing, knowing what their interaction with students can look like. It gives them resources to make sure that if they're ever at a loss for a student's question, they have ways to respond. And if students aren't forthcoming, as sometimes they're not in class, teachers have prompting questions, things to help draw them in. It just provides all of the tools in place for both the teacher and the student to have a successful learning experience.
I think the primary way that the curriculum work is supporting teacher needs is time. Teachers spend so much time looking for resources and writing lesson plans that they don't have to do that anymore. Our time can be focused on our data, really engaging with our students and building those relationships. And if we don't have to focus so much on lesson planning and finding materials and resources, we can focus more on our students and giving our students what they need.
Now having all of my reading planned out, I already know what's coming, and I can really focus more on diving into the data, helping my students where they really need the help, using all of the assessments the best way I can instead of spending that time planning the assessments and planning all the lessons and looking for resources.
As they've introduced the pathways for Indiana, we know that we need to step up our game and get more of our students graduating and successful once they finish high school, and we've got to find ways to do that, and it's a struggle for all of our teachers. Some days it's a sub, some days it's a new teacher. We want to provide that material for them so that we can help them and make it easier so they can spend their time making it stronger and not just doing the basic, because that's what they end up having time for by this end of the day.
The lesson plans that we're creating are not just about treating students fairly and giving them all the same things. In these new lesson plans, we're able to offer tiers and more challenges and accommodations for students at all levels.
As we've worked on the curriculum writing, when we worked on these lesson plans, we've really focused on making these useful for everybody, for that first year teacher or that veteran teacher.
The small group template really gives some great suggestions for how to adapt that lesson to their needs, to accommodate it. Because at the end of the day, we're not making it necessarily easier for them, because we still want to have the same high expectations for everyone, but we're scaffolding learners to where we want them to be.
Well, this is a rigorous curriculum that we're writing. Students are held to high expectations. They're not spending a lot of time reviewing per se. The review that happens is in the context of new learning.
With all teachers at a grade level working on the same thing and having the same goals, we'll be able to collaborate and talk about student progress. There's also a 3-year commitment with this work, which means we'll be able to come back and revise and revisit to make sure that students continue to be successful.
We are doing more than just creating students who can read. We're creating students who want to read. And in our current society, I really feel like that's the biggest gift teachers can give to it.
Working with a group of teachers from different schools has been an awesome experience because you get to see different ideas, you get to experience different resources that they use. We've seen the Algebra Mind resource and being able to work with that with other teachers outside of the group that you typically work with to see where we know we can go, and again finding resources not only for our kids that are struggling but our kids that need that extension activity has been exciting.
They're great thinkers. We have a lot of great thinkers, and this is giving them an opportunity to use that thinking and apply it and without having to memorize a bunch of steps. I'm not saying there isn't a place for it. There definitely is. They need to still practice that, and we can do that very easily. This curriculum that we're doing, the deep conceptualized activities that takes us forever to come up with, it's all right there for them.
I'm thankful that we've been given this opportunity to create the lessons and everything that we've wanted to do by coming in at the beginning of the school year, having everything ready is done. So that aha moment for me was, wow, this takes so much time, it takes a lot of energy, and we've got some amazing teachers in our district who are working so hard to put all of this together. It really was an aha moment that this is a big deal and it's going to be so helpful for people.